Welcome to Recombu. It's Basil here with the Asus Fonepad and the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and we're here to compare both of these larger-than-life Fonecom tablets for you. The Samsung Galaxy Note 8 on my right-hand side has an 8-inch WXGA display. The Asus Fonepad has a 7-inch WXGA display. Both have phone call capabilities. Well, not our Note 8, because our Note 8 is in fact the Wi-Fi only version. But the Asus Pad phone comes in at a ridiculously low £179. Why does it cost less? Which one's for you? Watch this video and all your questions will be answered. Kicking off with the designs of both devices, and they are both plastic, undeniably so. On the front of the phone pad, you've got a 7-inch screen, front-facing 1.3 megapixel camera and a Asus insignia. On the front of the Samsung, 1.3 megapixel camera also, 8-inch screen and 3 buttons, two capacitive, 1 physical home button. All the buttons on the Asus Pad phone's front are on screen. If we take a look around the device itself, we can see power button and a volume rocker to the left side. On the right hand side, no buttons at all. Down below, micro USB port and a 3.5mm jack, while up top you have got this, which we can slide open to reveal the micro SIM and micro SD card, expandable by up to 32 megabytes. And that micro SIM, in case you didn't get it from the name, means you have full phone call capability. So stick this to your ear. No one will think you're crazy at all. In fact, you will be perfectly sane. It works a treat. Moving on to Samsung's offering, and it's a slimmer affair. It's more shiny, more glossy plastic, a little bit more slippery, but it does still feel very, very elegant and is very forgiving in the hand. On the left side, micro SD slot. On the right hand side, power button and volume rocker, as well as an infrared blast for all your TV wants and needs. Down below, speakers and a micro USB port. And of course, you've got the S Pen, which we will come on to later. Up at the top is a 3.5mm jack. The screens on both devices are very impressive. Well, more impressive on the Asus Fonepad just because of the price point. IPS display, it's a super IPS display, so it's nice and bright. As you can see, it really does hold its own side by side with Samsung's offering. Being smaller, it's also a little bit sharper as well. It's a PLS display, which is Samsung's IPS tech on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and it's really, really nice, vibrant. Not as vibrant as AMOLEDs out there, however you will get purer whites, for example. So therefore, as far as screens goes, the Samsung wins in terms of vibrancy, but for £179 compared to the £350 to £450 Samsung, we're really, really impressed by Asus's capabilities. Moving on to the user interfaces, both have Android 4.1. You've got a much more stock version on the Asus Fonepad. It's not completely stock, so if we, for example, pull up this, we can see we can pull up Audio Wizard, browser, BuddyBuzz. BuddyBuzz, by the way, is Asus's aggregator, social media aggregator, and we can swipe across for calendar, email, etc. If we pull up the calculator, you can see that's a floating widget that you can very, very easily access, and it's really handy. It is, however, a customization, so stock fans might not love it. Swiping from the top down, you can also see you've got other elements that were in the Pad phone too, such as Instant Dictionary and Audio Wizard, which is a very, very neat touch. So that's the that's the Asus Fonepad's user interface. Relatively stock, but not completely. A few applications on board that we hadn't seen in the past, but for the most part, it's pretty predictable. Moving on to Samsung's offering, and the real forte of the Note 8 is its S Pen. Indeed, it's the reason it has its namesake Note trademarking. If we open up a Note, for example, in S Note, we can very, very easily see. We can just immediately pick up a note or draw a doodle, so smiley or fuzzy eyebrows, eye, smiley face, boom. And if we want to write something, we can. It's an absolute doddle. Hello, John. It's going to detect it and throw that in there. So altogether, we have a pretty neat note that says hello, John, and a picture of John, if indeed that is John. You can see it's all really intuitive. You can also do a whole host of other things like snip from an element of your calendar, and then it's actually going to cut that snip out, and then you can send it to various sources, etc. if that's going to be the swinger for you, the the deal clincher that's going to make you want to spend 200 odd extra pounds on it, then fair enough. If you don't feel you need that pen functionality, that is the key difference in terms of the UI. Don't get us wrong, TouchWiz is very, very customizable, but Asus have got a really nice interface themselves. If we move on to what's really also going to swing it for you, it's going to be the internals. At £179, it is little wonder that the Asus Fonepad isn't anywhere near as powerful. It packs an Intel 1.2 GHz CPU. That's an Intel Atom, can't remember the exact model number, but you can check that out on the site. Powered along nicely, you can see the interface doesn't stutter much per se, but you definitely do notice a slight slowdown in comparison to the extremely instantaneous Samsung Galaxy Note 8. The quad-core 1.6 GHz Exynos processor in the Note 8, however, will be perfect for things like 3D gaming and more intensive tasks like image editing. In turn, which one's right for you? Well, if you're on a budget, then it's a no-brainer, the Asus's, because the Samsung Galaxy Note, while it is a decent device, is going to be way more expensive, double the price practically. Well, it's going to be more than double the price if you're going to go for the phone variant. If, however, you can't live without that S Pen functionality, you don't have a Note 2, you don't have a Note 10.1, and you need something halfway in between right now, then it's the Note 8.0 all the way. If you've got any questions about these two devices, please fire us a comment below. I've been Basil. This has been Recombu comparing the Fonepad and the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. If you enjoy our channel, just click subscribe.